What's up, everyone?
Hello.
Bit my tongue pretty hard right there. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Benched. We are the Tobar Brothers. Joey here, joined by the little bro, Ainge. What's up, man?
Hello.
Episode number 39, creeping up on 50. Should we do something cool for 50?
We will.
Let's give some shit away.
Yeah.
Let's give something away.
We'll talk about it.
We'll get back to you on that. That was literally on the spur of the moment. Friday, October 13th, 2023. This feels like we're getting close to Halloween.
Yeah, it's getting a little colder.
Getting a little colder, yep.
Weather's changing. Everyone's sick. Yep.
Everyone's sick.
What the hell?
Angel was sick all weekend. All week.
I'm still sick.
And I got it. My kids had it. My wife has it.
Sweet.
It is going through.
Wait, you said episode what?
39. Famous 39s.
Danny Woodhead.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
You know, I thought of, what's his first name?
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson for sure.
Mika Fitzpatrick. Maroney.
Remember Maroney?
Yeah.
God, he ran so hard.
Those running backs just don't exist anymore, I don't think.
Because they don't last.
Those like 6'2", well, besides Derrick Henry.
The Yeti.
But yeah, only him though.
Feeling the song today. It's good to be back home.
Yeah.
It's good to be back in the studio. This is our last show in my bedroom. Thank God. Take this in. It's the last time.
He sleeps right there.
My bed is literally right there.
Him and his
wife. This is actually okay. Oops.
Okay.
This is actually my computer for my other job, but also makes a very nice background, I think.
Yeah. But you won't see it anymore, so we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, we will move into the studio next week. Very excited about that. I have a lot of work to do this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'll update you accordingly.
Okay. I will be supporting you from afar.
Yes. Very good. On this episode, we'll get into the news, the latest news. Oh, that sounds good. The new news. That's what the Kelsey brothers call it.
But we can't say that.
The hot and ready news.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Then we need to get sponsored by Little Caesars if we do that.
The hot and ready news.
I feel good.
Wow. What? I
don't know. I just feel it's good to be home.
I mean, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
TGIF.
I mean, it is Friday. Well, it's Thursday. Oh, yeah, I guess. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
We should do something tomorrow night. Besides take my kids to the pumpkin patch.
Which I will not. You invited me, but then you told me it costs.
It's a bougie pumpkin patch.
I was like, that, I think
it's like $27 a person.
Like, if it was my kid.
Yeah.
I love my nieces a lot.
Yeah.
If it was my kid, I'd go, but not $20 whatever dollars. That's 20. Wait, how much is it?
I think it's $27 per.
That's $27 too much for me.
And that doesn't even get you a pumpkin.
That just gets you in the building.
Gets you inside the farm. But I will say this: it's because people are listening and think I'm an idiot now, and I am. But it's a little more than a pumpkin patch. There's animals, there's games, there's a couple stores, there's
also stores you buy money. Okay.
Yeah, I mean definitely, and definitely not a good deal. But I'm saying it's not just.
It's a family event.
Yeah,
you have a family
parking lot, pumpkin patch.
Things you do when you're a dad.
It's very nice. If you're in the LA area, Underwood Farms, you know what it is. It's pretty good. We're an LA-based show. I'll own that. But yeah, maybe tomorrow night we'll go and do something. Who knows? Or tonight. I guess you're listening to this on a Friday. Anyways, we'll get into the news, the hot and ready news. We really veered off on the news. I don't think we've ever done that before. Our segment that we do every Friday, Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. We ask questions, pressing questions about teams, about players, about different situations that we want to see answered on Sunday.
That can only be answered on Sundays.
Very good point. Only be answered on Sunday. And then we'll do our game picks in almost a minute. And I think that's a very proper title because we haven't come close yet.
Well, I won't.
It's my fault.
Yeah. Okay.
I
was trying to be nice. Like,
it's my fault.
I was gonna say I think we both need to work on some.
You know what it is? I can't make a declaration and not explain myself in some way. Yeah. I can't just say this team's gonna beat this team. Although this week, I feel like it's gonna go pretty fast.
You're probably the worst customer. You're like, sir, would you like wheat or rye? Rye, and let me tell you why. I just need to know wheat or rye. I don't care why you pick rye. No. Sit there and let me talk to you for 30 seconds.
Listen, man. I'm a talker.
Yeah. That's why we have a podcast.
That's why we started this. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching the show. All you faithful watchers, faithful downloaders, really, really appreciate you. Please like the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share it with a buddy. A lot of you guys have buddies who love football, and we would love to be their friends too. Just a big bench warmers family.
Yeah, let's all just talk football.
If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, thank you so much for being a faithful downloader there. And we have a good group there now. Please leave a review, share the show, all those different things. It's very easy to share on your social media too.
Help us out.
If you don't mind.
If you don't mind.
We'd really appreciate it.
That'd be great.
Follow the show Between the Show on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search at Bench Show to catch everything going up there on the social media platforms. And we've pretty much given up on Threads because it's not a real thing.
I don't even know that exists anymore.
Yep. I think we have one, but
whatever.
Don't follow it. There's nothing on it.
Yep. If there is, it's a total bot.
Leave in the chat if you actually use Threads. I bet there won't be 5 people who do.
Like, yeah, I can't imagine.
Let's it is late Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be hearing this Friday morning. We just watched Chiefs Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
As many of you know, we have our own resident Broncos fanatic.
The year we start this podcast just happens to be this year.
I've seen this man walk into Broncos training camp with the biggest, stupidest smile on his face, and I understand it. We watched Peyton Manning in training camp. We watched Vaughn.
That was such a good time.
Yeah.
We were good.
There in Denver. We're the only brown people there.
But
it didn't matter.
Whatever. At that, yeah.
Point is, you love your Broncos.
Yeah.
And you got some stuff to say about that.
Yeah.
Let's get to a little game recap. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime featured the Denver Broncos. Obviously struggling. We all know that. Sean Payton reeling. Russell Wilson, who knows? Sorry, I told you I wasn't going to talk about it. The Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs take care of them 19-8, which is not the score we all thought. But I will say no more. My guy has requested time to cook, time to vent, time to let it all out because that's his mic and that's why we do what we do. The floor is yours. I'll shut up.
All right, before I preference this, let me just say I've been a Bronco fan since the day I was born. That's what I like to think. I've never veered off my fandom. I've loved them through thick or thin.
True.
My earliest memories of being a football fan was watching Jake the Snake Plumber out in the field. For better or for worse, he was our quarterback. Yeah. I've been there through the Jay Cutler era, Kyle Orton era, Tim Tebow era, obviously Peyton Manning. Then this current generation of quarterbacks, the Simeons, the Case Keenums, Drew Locks, Joe Flacco's.
Osweiler.
Actually, yeah. Teddy Bridgewater. And all those years, I never asked myself this question internally until tonight. Until Thursday night.
Yeah.
Do I actually want to be a Bronco fan?
Oh.
And that is 1,000% the fault of 2 people. George Payton.
Tell him.
And Sean Payton.
What? Yikes.
It's not the fact that we're not competitive, because we at least can be okay. At our best, we're okay. But the fact that each week I have to sit there and watch us lose in a new, different, stupid way infuriates the hell out of me. All off season. Yeah. So look. The class is saying, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. No, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Last year was the ones. Got fooled by Russell Wilson coming in, Hackett coming in. Okay, that's everyone bought into that. I'm not the only one who bought into that. Okay, that's just is what it is. But this year, Sean Payton comes in. The quarterback guru, the quarterback whisperer, the quarterback guy who fixes quarterbacks, who helped Drew Brees become a Hall of Famer. That's what the storyline was coming into this year.
Yeah.
So I bought in. I'm all in because I'm an optimistic Bronco fan. I'm an optimistic person.
Right.
So I bought in thinking that this is going to be different. We have the pieces to be average or a little bit above average if things go right. And every single game, I've been reminded that we are not at all different. They have tested my patience with every single person on this roster. All we heard was how big a genius Sean fucking Payton was. Yet somehow we still fucking suck. It's not it. And then I used to listen to post-game interviews, even when we were bad. I listened to post-game interviews. I listened to during the week interviews. It's gotten to the point where I don't want to hear Sean Payton talk. So I don't believe anything you say. I don't trust anything you say. Why the hell should I believe it? And if I had to see Vance Joseph one more time, I'm going to punch the fucking screen. Oh, we are 32nd in every defensive rank this year.
Yeah.
Because of this defensive coordinator. What the fuck does he do? I honestly don't want to see him in the Broncos facility one more time. What the hell does he do?
Not to make matters worse, but the second time you guys hired him.
George Payton. That's Sean Payton. Now let me get to George. It's time we start calling it what it is. George Payton made the worst trade in NFL history. And then doubled down by signing the player he traded for in the worst trade in NFL history. Russell Wilson is not Russell Wilson. This is a clone of Russell Wilson that is not the real Russell Wilson.
Oh, they Kanye'd him.
They Kanye'd him.
Oh,
The real one's in Seattle somewhere.
bastards.
Married to the first wife. Now this new one
He's a great guy.
who gives you the illusion that he's a good quarterback, then on third down shits his pants every single time, is scared to throw the ball, is scared to do anything, but that's just him. That's not his fault that's someone traded for him. That's not his fault.
Yeah.
That's George Payton's fault. Then George Payton doubled down by giving this guy an untradeable contract.
Yeah.
You can't move it. It's too fucking big. It's too expensive. You can't do it.
A lot of F-bombs. Yeah.
So not only do we have a stupid GM,
Yes.
we have a incompetent head coach
Yes.
with a not winning quarterback.
Yikes.
That's why we're 1-5 right now. And it takes everything in me to still stick with this team that I love. I already know next Sunday morning, I'm gonna get up and just have the glimmer of hope. Maybe we'll win today because I'm a Bronx. This is my team.
Don't do it.
I love them.
Yeah.
This is the darkest I've ever felt about my Broncos team, and I hope this is the bottom. Right now, this is the bottom.
Yeah. Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
The only bright spot is that there's a whole quarterback crop in the draft next year.
Oh, yeah.
All that to say, I'm tired of this version of the Broncos. We need to blow this up and just say, we were wrong. George Payton was wrong. Sean Payton was wrong. Let's start over right now.
Yeah, very nice. I'm proud of you for doing that. You cussed a lot. You said the F word a lot of times, but I think you used it well. I said this. It was poor judgment on my part. Immediately after the game, I think I was laughing as well, and it was just poor judgment on my part. The Broncos have lost 16 in a row to the Chiefs. You about jumped over the couch at me, and I saw, oh yeah, I forgot. There's fans of this team too, and yeah, I mean that was straight from the heart. It's a frustrating time to be a Broncos fan, 100%, and a lot of fingers to point. It's at the point now where you can't even talk about how bad they are because it's just old news.
Do I know how embarrassing it is? I can't go to a bar and tell people I'm a Broncos fan right now.
Yeah, so you joined me with some of my buddies watching a game.
Yeah.
And this was after the 70-point thing.
Yeah. Just a cherry on fucking top.
Yeah. Every single person that you talked to, as soon as you said, I'm a Bronco fan, they just apologized to you. That is a rough thing, my friend. And Bronco fans deserve better. They really do. Broncos have good fans. They show up. They're excited. They support their team. It's an historic franchise. They deserve better than this. And that Walmart money, it makes no sense that you have that Walmart money, the richest owner in sports, I think.
Yeah, by a wide margin.
And this is what you have to show for it. It's been terribly mismanaged by George Payton. I think we're learning a lot about Sean Payton, and we know all we need to know about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson tonight, 13 of 22, 95 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. They scored 8 points. Obviously, it is what it is. Broncos defense, as you mentioned, last in rushing yards allowed, yards per carry, 29th in pass yards allowed. This is all before the game. Last in total yards allowed and last in points per game. They're giving up 36 points per game. It is excuse my French, a shit show in Denver. And yeah, I don't know. It's rock bottom. It's rock bottom. Let's talk about a couple positives about the Broncos. Okay,
the game's over.
The game's over. Positive number 1. They only lost to the defending champs by 9. I think that's a positive. I think they played decently well. I think the Chiefs had a very bad game. I think Andy Reid had a very bad game. But you played the champs tough. You didn't lose by some crazy score like the Dolphins. I think there's some young guys here too that have some promise. Not sure I love how they're being used. I love McLaughlin. the running back.
Mm-hmm.
I like Javonta. They both ran well tonight. Why they get less than 10 carries between them, or not between them, but neither of them get at least 10 carries. I don't understand that, especially in a close game. Judy is probably on his way out. That sucks. Why won't they give Mims a chance to play?
They trade up in the draft to draft him, and he's only a punt and kick returner and a deep shot if Sean Payton's feeling up for it.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the hard thing to me about the Broncos is if they do turn around personnel wise. Russell leaves and whatever, you get a new crop of guys. Is Sean Payton the guy to even manage these guys? Are we severely, like we did with Belichick and Brady, underestimating what Breeze meant to the career of Sean Payton?
The same way we're asking if Brady, obviously Brady meant to Belichick, but
right.
It's the same thing. Like, he had a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you get elevated when you win so much because, then you don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback. You have Russell Wilson at the tail end of his career, and you make it work. And we can't score. We don't use our weapons right. We insist on putting Brandon Johnson out there above Jerry Jeudy, above Courtland Sutton. We don't put Marvin Mims out there. We put Dulcich out there too quickly. He got hurt in the first half and never came back.
Yep.
Thank God. I'm knock on wood. So Javonte Williams hasn't gotten hurt. But yeah, we have good running backs and we don't use them because
it's just a bad look for Sean Payton. The way he's using his personnel, the way he's losing, especially you almost saw this coming when he went in so hard on Hackett. Like when you put yourself out there that hard, you better win. You painted the biggest target on your back, calling out a coach so hard. You better win. You better turn around this franchise, or you damn well better have at least a better season than that guy had.
Right now, it's not looking like it.
No. I would never think that last year of the Broncos wasn't rock bottom. I thought that was rock. This is worse.
Yeah.
Peyton, and I don't know. I hope if he's not the answer that they realize quick and they move on quick. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, so when he did that, as a Bronco fan, you have to take one or two sides. You got to say, okay, I'm on board with this guy. Which is what I did. Or you take let's wait and see before we talk about anything. Then he comes out and bitches out in a statement, said, I don't want to, blah, 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 blah. Shut up, dude. You already said it, and you meant it. And then the genius of Sean Payton, where is it? We're more efficient?
Yeah.
Sort of. We have the same points scored. I'm getting so frustrated. It's just not well managed offensive weapons.
I want to talk about something with the Broncos real quick before we move on. We're about to move on because I'm not sure emotionally you can take much more of this.
Yeah.
I want to play a quote for you. Not a quote, an interview that Steve Smith did pregame.
Oh.
And then I want to comment on it because I have very, very strong feelings about this, and then you can as well. Right?
Okay.
Here's Steve Smith talking to Mike Garofalo in the pregame show. Not an opinion piece. Just tell us about the game.
Yeah.
But here's what Steve Smith shared.
Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy was walking by, and Steve called out to him, and he got a different reaction.
I called out to him because on my podcast, Cut to It, I just talked about guys that maybe have not showed up in a way or in a manner. And so the word that I've used to describe him in the past was a jag, just a guy.
Just a guy.
And so when I saw him, he's playing well. I wanted to say to him face to face, like, hey, I know I said some things in the past I probably shouldn't have, and I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to say to him. His response, Mike Robb and Bucky, was ninja.
Ninja?
Yes, I'm using the word ninja. I'm just using the word ninja. I don't mess with you. And it was a curse word. And so I was like, all right. And then he repeated it. So I'll say it again. I'm sorry that I said you were a jag, just a guy who's an average wide receiver that used a first-round pick on that isn't doing anything. I hope today that you actually show up in a way that...
Okay, I'm done with that. Steve Smith. That is Steve Smith talking about Jerry Jeudy. Steve Smith talking about his podcast he has. I guess he shared something about receivers. He's kind of taken the...
I wasn't aware of his podcast till that.
Yeah, his podcast is basically wide receiver focused.
Which would be cool.
Yeah, which would be cool, except Steve Smith is a total freaking idiot. Steve Smith, in his first 5 seasons. Season 1, 10 catches, 154 yards. Season 2, 54 catches, 872 yards. Season 3, 88 catches, 1,000 yards. Season 4, missed due to injury. Season 5, he finally breaks out. 5 seasons in. Okay, so if anyone knows about finding your place in the NFL, developing as a player, getting in a situation that's conducive to big numbers, it's Steve freaking Smith. And to go on while the Broncos are at their all-time low, it's obviously not Judy's fault, you fucking idiot. Like, he can't throw the ball to himself. Like, what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
And to go on right before the game and make this all about you and your stupid podcast that no one listens to anyway, he just pisses me off so bad. Just shut up. You're old. No one cares about you anymore. You weren't one of the greats. You were a very good receiver. You're not Calvin Johnson. You're not Andre Johnson. You're not DeAndre Hopkins. You're none of those guys. And to go on there and act like you're one of the greats of the game and you have this big, high and mighty platform and you could talk down young receivers who are trying. How many years is Judy into the league? 4?
3.
3 years in the league. Shut up, dude.
Yeah.
Shut up. And you know what's going on here. You know Russell Wilson can't play anymore. You know this guy's never had a quarterback to get him the ball. You're a wide receiver expert. We're supposed to go to your show and learn about wide receivers when you won't. You got your feelings hurt because Jerry Jeudy didn't want to talk to you?
Because after you bashed him, sorry, I don't want to talk to somebody after you say
How do you call him just the guy? Oh, he didn't want your apology, so now you're upset. So you're gonna get on your. No one wants to hear that. We want to hear about the game.
Yeah.
You give a crap about your personal vendetta. Shut up. Go home. No one cares about you. You're not Randy Moss. You're just the guy that got to replace Randy Moss.
Yeah, it's I saw that and I saw the interaction, and then there's another video of later on they're doing an interview and Judy's dancing behind them.
Yeah.
So it's just two immature guys going at it. But the difference is Judy's 24 and Steve Smith's 40 or what? He's older.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The CTE probably has him about 60.
I saw that. I'm like, look, the low hanging fruit of Russell Wilson and the Broncos by non-Bronco fans is so outplayed. I'm gonna bash the Broncos because they're low. Anyone can bash the Broncos if you're an outsider. I bash them because I truly love the Broncos.
Right.
People bash them outside the Bronco fandom because it's easy to bash.
Easy.
It's poor journalism from someone who's on NFL Network and claims to be an expert, and it says, I'm going to go after the low-hanging fruit, which is the Denver Broncos. That's like me saying, I'm going to go in the worst team in basketball next year and just start picking at them.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Steve Smith. You could put, I'll say Steve Smith, but I want a good receiver. You could put Randy Moss on this team, and it would not be any different.
No.
They can't get him the ball. The Russell Wilson, if he did have time, doesn't have that anymore, and you should know that if you're an expert. But you're not. You're just another Scottie Pippen, another just old head trying to be relevant still, trying to buck up to some 24-year-old kid who's actually in the league. Bro, shut up.
And he's saying, I was trying to apologize. You could say that now. But you know what you could have done is just taken the high road and just said, I'm not going to mention it. But instead, you're like, you know what? Screw it. You offended me, so I'm going to bash you because it's...
I need a dumbass button.
No, it's just... It was like you don't
We really started this show intense.
Well, it's
Friday, baby.
Well, once we get this done, it'll be... We haven't talked about the Chiefs yet.
I hope you...
Chiefs also played.
Chiefs won.
Chiefs also played this game.
Taylor Swift was there.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce had a great
This
game.
is why the only person who can get us to stop talking about Taylor Swift is the Denver Broncos. So
yeah.
that's one thing that we're doing really, really well.
Yeah, I hope you came to play today because that was an intense first 24 minutes of the show.
It was not supposed to
If
be
you're
that
still
long.
listening, I appreciate it. I really do. Those were our personal feelings about the Broncos, and
But let's just end it.
let's subside here. The Chiefs win. Good for the Chiefs.
Chiefs win. They don't. They on Chiefs side. They get a little cute in the red zone here.
Yeah, this wasn't a great game for Andy Reid. He is an all-time Hall of Famer coach, but every now and then I saw this tweet. He coaches like someone's extorting him.
Yeah.
Like they're making him do dumb things.
Yeah, it was they in the red zone. They were terrible tonight, but
Yeah.
for a team that's this is what they they're a Super Bowl contender every single year. You want to see them cleaned up. I did not like Kelce out there at all. They did not need him to win.
To think Kelce had to do that much in a game that you're playing the Broncos is just
In a game where you just had to outscore it by 8 points. But you had to get over 8 points to win.
not great.
Yeah.
Not great. But
This defense will take them along. I know this is Broncos still, but this defense is very good.
very good.
It's
Yeah,
quietly becoming one of the top
I'm ready to start seeing the Chiefs against the best of the best now. They have had their warm up games. They've had I think they've played the Jaguars.
Yeah.
But I want to see them now against the Bills. I want to see them against
The Dolphins.
those guys.
Yeah.
Lions.
Lions.
I'm trying to look at their schedule, but Lions, yeah, maybe. Okay, we went so long on that we're actually going to take a quick break.
Yep.
In our pre-show meeting, we're like, hey, let's try to get the news in the first segment.
Yeah, no.
Didn't happen.
No.
We'll be right back. Okay, we are back after an intense first segment. I hope you got up, used the restroom, had a drink, got a cold towel, wiped your face a little bit.
Yeah, I'm calmed down because there's football on this weekend. That's not the Broncos, so it's all gonna be positive.
Let's get into the news. The news is brought to you by 818 Brewing. If you're in the LA area, we have the perfect spot for you and your crew to catch the next game. 818 Brewing has the perfect tasting room to get together with your buddies, grab a drink, and enjoy the game. Their selection of beer includes something for everyone and is all brewed on site. Stop by 818 Brewing at 8953 DeSoto Avenue in Canoga Park, and we will see you there. Let's get to the news here. A lot going on, and unfortunately, we're just going to lead us right back to the Broncos, but we'll wait on that for a little bit. Give them a break. I want to start with this. A report came out that C.J. Stroud, rookie phenom quarterback, was very nearly a Las Vegas Raider in the hands of Josh McDaniels.
Okay.
This scares the crap out of me to think that guy could have had his career ruined by Josh the idiot McDaniels.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, normally I'm the one who's strong against McDaniels, but thank you for taking this side.
Yeah. The report says that the Raiders tried to trade for not Stroud, but the pick that Stroud was taken. They're trying to trade for the number 1 overall pick. They were in competition with the Panthers. Panthers went out and drafted Bryce Young.
Oh, when they were trying to trade for
the pick, yeah. And it was speculated that their preferred quarterback was Stroud.
Oh man, what a different world this would be.
Yeah, am I right to say?
I mean, he would have had Devontae Adams. He would have had Josh Jacobs. That's not terrible.
Yeah. I mean, how much can a young quarterback overcome?
Yeah.
I think the one thing... Sorry. What were you saying?
No. It's just that'd be a crazy alternate universe. That
I think of Urban Meyer
and
what he did to Lawrence.
Yeah.
And it gives me shivers to think.
Yeah.
Thank God CJ Stroud ended up with the Texans. We never thought I said that.
But I think they took Tyree Wilson, who
he sucks.
He's upside. He's the upside guy.
Yeah, slow bake.
Yeah.
Moving on here. What's going on with Deshaun Watson?
It's weird.
Deshaun Watson will not play again this week with a shoulder injury that was supposed to keep him out a week or two.
Okay, I remember last week I saw a report that he was cleared before last week's game to play, and he chose to not play because it was a game time decision. So that Sunday, he got up, they had a workout pre-game, and he said, "No, I'm not playing." But the doctors cleared him.
Yeah, I mean, he just obviously doesn't want to be in any kind of pain. I don't know what's going on here. I think it's a little fishy. They have a big game. They're playing the 49ers. They absolutely need him, and he will not be there. They'll start P.J. Walker against the 49ers, a game that I would think Deshaun Watson would want to play in. So I don't want to go too hard here. Maybe he could be actually hurt. He could be in pain. He could not be. The injury could be much worse than the team's letting on.
It's got to be that, right? Maybe it's like a rotator cuff kit.
They paid him a lot of money. They might just be trying to get him back on the field ASAP.
Is it better to say he's out for 2 weeks, or to say he tore his rotator cuff, he will be limited for, or he'll be out for 2 weeks? Or
I just think if you have a question, if you have an injury that it could be 2-3 weeks, and it's one of your best players, I just would put him on IR.
Yeah.
Why risk that? I mean, where are you if Deshaun Watson suffers a serious injury?
I mean, he's not practicing, so he's kind of on IR. He's just,
I know, but just eliminate the drama.
Yeah.
And get him in rehab the entire time, and that's what I would do. But we'll see what happens there. He will not play this week. Let's see, maybe next week. I think they have a bye coming up, so we'll see that.
No, they just got off.
Oh, they're coming off a bye. Yeah, you're right.
So
jeez,
it's the healthiest that he'll be. I don't know. It's just weird.
Thanks. Moving on here, back to the Broncos. The Broncos look like they're going to dominate the trade deadline. Multiple sources say that the Broncos are expected to trade wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Obviously, he was big news tonight or in last night's game. The Colts are among the teams who have called about Jerry Jeudy. Broncos also look to be parting ways with defensive end Frank Clark, who I don't believe has played a game for them yet.
No, 2 games with 2 tackles.
Yeah, so and I think he's injured right now. The team restructured his contract to something where it's normal that once they make those moves, he's either traded or released.
It's easier to move or drop or cut, whatever.
Some teams believe that the Broncos will listen to trade offers not only for Judy, but also Cortland Sutton, longtime Bronco now,
Yeah.
as well as players on defense. The report adds that nobody is taking on Russell Wilson's contract, and they have no interest in parting ways with their star cornerback, Pat Surtain II. So let's take a look at this from not the Broncos side. Obviously, not great for the Broncos to lose talented players. But these are some names who can really shift the landscape.
Look, the NFL is happy that the Broncos are tanking or not tanking or selling because there are some players out there that could help some playoff teams take another leap towards. I'm thinking Justin Simmons. I'm thinking Jerry Jeudy.
Garrett Bowles.
Sutton will help teams. Frank Clark, obviously.
Yep.
If you're into Alex Singleton or Josie Jewell, some linebacker help, you can get that very, very easily. There's some guys on this team that are very, Smash EP.39, if you're looking for a backup running back, if you're desperate. There's some guys out there. If you just trade, Justin Simmons can go change a secondary.
Yeah, I want Justin Simmons so bad on the Eagles. Him or Buda Baker. We need another safety. We have some gap space. I would love to bring over Justin Simmons.
Judy would be nice on a team with like the Cowboys who need another weapon. The Panthers who just want a weapon.
Judy's the prize, right? I mean, Judy's the one.
To me, Justin Simmons would be the prize.
Yeah, I guess they're close
because he's signed for 3 more years.
I think just the landscape of the league.
Oh yeah, you
want a big time receiver.
Yeah.
Over a big time safety.
Yeah.
And that would make the most waves.
But also Garrett Bowles, if you get left tackle in the middle of the season,
Garrett Bowles is probably the most practical. It's the least sexy, but it's probably like maybe the biggest impact on the field.
Like say the Jets are trying to be good still, right?
Yeah.
Which they are apparently.
Jets, Bengals.
Bengals have signed Orlando Brown, so I don't know if you can move him to right tackle.
Listen, that line is so bad. Figure it out. Put him somewhere.
I mean, there's a bunch of teams that would like a left tackle. He's not great, but he's not bad. He's just, which is hard to get. Ask the Giants if they would like a left tackle like that.
Giants would love him.
Yeah, the Dolphins who are hurt. Tarn Armstead just in and out. Garrett Bowles, it's just Broncos see him.
He'd be interesting. Cortland Sutton.
Sutton, yeah,
he'd be fun.
You add him to a wideout core.
I like the Bills for him.
Just a big body guy, kind of
and then a handful of guys, but keep your eye on the Broncos as the trade deadline approaches because they look to be willing to deal. They've already moved Randy Gregory to the Niners, and we'll see going forward where these guys can end up. This might be a very, very different looking roster in just a couple weeks.
Yep.
We may have even seen a lot of these guys in a Bronco uniform for the last time this last Thursday night.
What a sign-off. Excuse me.
Moving on here, last thing on the news. How does this land on you? Okay, a report came out that the Panthers are going to begin to simplify things for the first overall pick, quarterback Bryce Young, including cutting down on verbiage. And this is a report via Ian Rappaport, NFL Network. They're going to simplify the offense for Bryce Young. Too much. He's overwhelmed. The game's too fast for him. Does this worry you?
That's what I said that they should do. I think they should stop. Some guys can come in the league. Stroud, Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah, you did make this point.
Stroud and Justin Herbert. They come in. They're ready to go. That's fine. Some guys need time to bake or need time to be babied in.
Right.
The great example of that is Josh Allen. He wasn't good right away. He had to take a couple years. Yeah, this year you traded the farm for this kid.
Yeah.
And you don't put too much on his plate. You're like,
you got to make it work.
Yeah, like we make it work. We can't tank because we don't have a pick.
Yeah.
So this is it.
I'll give it to the Panthers. They're trying.
Yeah.
We got on the Bears a couple years ago because they just did nothing. They did some more this offseason, but namely DJ Moore.
Yeah.
But like 2 years ago, they did nothing for Fields. He had no receivers. He had no offensive line. The defense was terrible. Literally nothing. At least they've tried. They went and signed at least some competent receivers. Thielen's having a great year, by the way. Yeah. Especially in fantasy.
But they need elite.
Yeah, but now let's put some elite stuff around him. They've been obviously rumored to be looking for a number one receiver. Also another possible landing spot for Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton. And now I think this is a good step as well. At first, it kind of scared me, like, whoa. But this may have just meant that, listen, they estimated his ability mentally to step right into the NFL coming out of the draft.
Yeah.
They thought he was further along than he was, and he wasn't there. And I think realizing this 6 games in, he's gotten a game off, right, where he was hurt.
Yeah.
With Andy Dalton, right, to kind of give him a breather.
Yeah.
And now simplify the offense. Because if you look at, I was reading an article about this, and Stroud and Richardson are doing great, but they've really simplified things for him.
Yeah.
It's read the field. You got to be able to play quarterback.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But Bryce Young's making a lot of checks at the line. He's kind of trying to control the offense a little more than those other guys are trying to do at this stage in their career, and I think it's a good move for them.
Yeah, like I said, you have to protect your top asset, which is Bryce Young.
Absolutely.
Bring in a for this season. If you can't bring in a weapon, just make it simple. Get his confidence up to going to year 2, and year 2, go out and spend some money. But yeah, I like it.
I like it. That's the news brought to you by 818 Brewing. Now we're going to get into our segment called Fridays Questions, Sundays Answers, and where we ask questions about teams, about players, about situations that can only be answered on Sunday. So let's get into it. Fridays Questions, Sundays Answers. I don't know if that's the music for that, but that's what we're going to use.
I did not know that we had a theme song for that.
I knew that button was some music, and I thought, I want some music right here.
Let's just do it.
Producing live, baby.
All right.
I'll have the first question here. My question, number 1, Fridays Questions, Sundays Answers. If Brock Purdy beats the Browns, not just beats the Browns, looks good against the Browns,
Like he did against the Cowboys.
carves up the Browns, is he the best quarterback in the NFC?
Whoa.
If he does to the Browns what he did to the Cowboys, which was supposed to be was in the conversation for the best defense in the league,
Absolutely.
even without Trayvon Diggs.
Absolutely.
You think of Micah Parsons, who didn't do anything against them. You think of Stephon Gilmore, that linebacking core, just the total unit.
Yep.
Gus Bradley has these guys cooking, all those different things. And Purdy carved them up. Purdy,
Very well.
42-10, and it wasn't that close. They carved them up, and Brock Purdy looked really good doing it.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy so far in the season, 72% completion percentage. That's very good. Already up to 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Has not thrown an interception yet. And it's not because he's not throwing the ball. 123 passer rating. He is tied for first interceptions with 0, obviously. He is first in QBR. And these are the impressive ones to me. He is second in yards per attempt, which means he's throwing the ball down the field.
It's not just the bops to McCaffrey.
And also second in completion percentage. So he's making throws down the field, which are usually come with a lower completion percentage because they're harder throws. It's kind of simple math there.
Yeah.
And yet he has maintained a high completion percentage and 7th, top 10 in passing touchdowns. He's doing very, very impressive things. And I think we want to loop him in because he is so not sexy. He is so, coming into the league as the last guy picked. Your last name is Purdy. You kind of look like a dorky little white kid. But he's balling.
He's like literally unsexy Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins isn't sexy.
Jeez.
That's how you would describe him.
If he's the best quarterback on the best team, and listen, we can't. It's such a tricky thing because yes, Shanahan does put them in very good position. Yes, he has incredible weapons across the board. But not every quarterback they stick in here does this. No one does this.
They do well, but not like this.
Even Garoppolo, who got them to the Super Bowl, didn't play like this.
No.
If he goes into Cleveland, I believe the game's in Cleveland, and that defense doesn't need Deshaun Watson. You got Myles Garrett and a host of dogs, especially in that secondary in Cleveland, and he carves them up in Cleveland. I don't know, man.
I'm looking forward to this Sunday. I want to see him
know.
if he goes back-to-back weeks against the top 5 units on defense and carves them up. You can't ignore it. You have to be like, okay, well, we have to see what this kid is, and the stats don't lie, numbers don't lie, and ball don't lie.
Yeah,
he might be the best, if not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC.
Might be a little teaser.
Yeah.
Other competitors that I come up with, obviously Jalen Hurts is the one.
Yep.
That's as an Eagle fan, that's a tough one for me.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts just went to the Super Bowl. Yes, he's not playing his best, but he's done what's been necessary to win.
Yeah.
Other names I could think of is Geno Smith, kind of in the same realm, not terribly sexy of a quarterback, but doing the thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then Kirk Cousins, who have the numbers, but obviously isn't winning games, kind of the opposite. there's not a lot of high-end quarterbacks as far
Goff.
as pedigree. Yeah, you think of Goff.
Yeah.
Goff should probably be on that list too.
Yeah.
But very, very interesting to see him. What's interesting too is that if they win this game, they'll go to 6-0, and then next week they play the Seahawks.
Tell you what, he'll be tested for sure.
Yeah, and they want him. There's been some trash talk going on there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's the question I want to answer this weekend. If Purdy beats the Browns, if he carves up the Browns, he has to carve them up too. They can't just win.
Yeah.
He has to carve them up. People need to start talking about him about best or one of the best in the NFC.
Yeah.
What you got?
For Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. Does a loss to the Raiders make Bill Belichick bench Mac Jones?
I hope so.
So Mac Jones this year has been 5 touchdowns, 6 picks, completing 62%, and they are currently sitting at 1-5, which is the bottom of their division, near the bottom of the AFC in total. And in his last 2 games, he's 0 touchdowns, 4 picks, and the offense has scored 3 points in 2 games.
Jeez. Oh my God.
It's rock bottom, and they're at the point where it's getting so bad where it's in the fourth quarter and it's so wildly lopsided. They pull him,
They pulled him twice already.
but
this
they
year.
haven't said that they benched him.
Right.
They've just pulled him,
Right.
and what they say after is, "Well, there was no point. We were already down so much."
Right.
But at some point,
Yeah. God forbid they risk Mac Jones' health.
yeah, I mean, and
Where would they be without him?
We could say it. And let me just defend Mac Jones for a second.
I want to hear this.
Look at the position players he's throwing to: Devontae Parker,
Dog.
Kendrick Bourne,
Dog.
Juju Smith-Schuster,
Dog.
Hunter Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, and Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre is the only guy who's
I feel bad for Ramondre
something.
too.
They aren't surrounding this kid. And last year you had the excuse of no real offensive coordinator. But this year you have Bill O'Brien, who's been in college football and the NFL for a long time.
This might be his last NFL job.
And it's like, look, if you have another bad game against the Raiders, and if you don't think Belichick wants to beat his former
Against the
OC
Raiders.
Josh McDaniels,
Yeah.
I mean, if he has another bad game, they have the most obvious thing is to bench him.
Eric Bedard, I think, is a beat writer for the New England Patriots. He said that there is a rumor circulating amongst people around the team. The Patriots may start veteran Will Grier over Mac Jones if Jones continues to struggle. So we're starting to hear rumblings of Mac Jones going. I think it's inevitably headed that way. I don't know how this could get any better for Mac Jones unless there's just a
What
insane
sucks?
turnaround.
His rookie year, he went 22 touchdowns, 13 picks, 3,800 yards, and they were 10-7.
Yeah.
But then this is what a bad coordinator or a bad head coach or whatever can do to it. The Panthers earlier were talking about that. This is what 1 year of crappy coaching can do to an NFL athlete.
Right.
And they're just not scoring points, and they're being embarrassed.
Mac Jones to me is very similar to Baker Mayfield. I think that's kind of the career arc he's going to have. I don't think he's just going to disappear once he loses this job.
He'll find a job.
And he will lose this job.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to disappear. He'll be around. He'll start again. He'll play well again. It's just this seems like it's cooked.
Yeah.
This situation seems like, I don't know if it's getting any better. It's headed towards something inevitable, and I think that's why people are so frustrated with Bill Belichick, because we all see where this is going. This guy is he's not the guy.
Yeah.
But
It sucks. I believe in him going to this year, but I mean, that'll help him out. We have to do something. You have to prove why you're a starting quarterback. And
Right.
if you're not, if the only thing proving that is I was picked in the first round, that won't last very long.
in my rookie year, I threw for 22.
Yeah, which was 2 years ago now.
And I played at Alabama.
Yeah, I've been playing Alabama, and Nick Saban likes me.
Yeah.
So
See you,
Sunday
Mac.
we'll figure out if he loses and his performance bad or gets. We'll see if this is his last game as a starter for the Patriots.
Happy trails, Mac. Moving on. My next question, Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. Can Dallas, I said that word, can Dallas bounce back in prime time? So last time we saw Jerry's boys, they were getting whipped
Capital.
by the 49ers. 49ers might be the best team in the league, but
Very true.
they came into that game as Cowboys might be the best top 3, top 5. And they're supposed to be one of the big dogs and certainly not supposed to be blown out by 32 points on Sunday Night Football. That was just such a bad showing. Sorry, I'm shaking that guy. Then your leader, really, because he's kind of how he talks so much, He has his own podcast. He's one of the best players in the NFL. He comes out and says after Micah Parsons, right after you get schmacked, and Micah Parsons doesn't do a damn thing. He comes out and says, I don't think the Niners are higher level than us. I think we're the same caliber playoff team, same talent, same standards. I just feel like we need to reconsider and fix some things. The score doesn't really show what happened there. This, to me, is classic Cowboys. This is the company line. No, we're good. I promise you we're good. Believe us, we're good. And you know what Cowboy fans are going to do? I think we're pretty good.
I mean,
I think they just caught us on the wrong night.
I don't know how you spin 42-10.
That's how you do it right there.
Like,
we just need to fix some things.
Effectively. That wasn't effective. That was just him saying, oh, we're better.
Yeah.
He lost 42-10. It's just a different tier.
You got embarrassed, and you had your whole offensive line. You were as healthy as you're going to be this year.
On off. Yeah. This year, yeah.
Yeah. They have the Chargers coming up here on Monday Night Football, so another primetime game. Chargers sitting at 2-2. I think Eckler's going to be back. They should be at full strength here.
Yeah.
Obviously without Mike Williams.
Yeah.
But they're going to get a test here from the Chargers, and it's in L.A. And there are probably a lot of Cowboy fans at that game, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no Chargers fans in L.A.
They don't exist here.
Because they are the San Diego Chargers, and I don't know why they're here. But if they lose this game to the Chargers, and they need to look good while doing it, because if you're one of the best teams in the league, you take care of teams like the Chargers who haven't quite reached that level yet.
Yeah.
They need to bounce back in a big way. They need it because Micah Parsons is running his mouth. They need it because if they think they're Super Bowl contenders, they need to act like it. They need to play like it, especially in primetime.
Yeah, this is a big game for them, both internally and externally to us fans. Mm-hmm. If you lose back-to-back games against offenses that can score, because you remember the wins they had were against, and the losses they had were,
the Jets.
Right. Yeah. So if you lose back-to-back games against good offenses, no one's going to believe you that you're a good defense.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, well, you obviously play good against bad teams, but do you play good against good teams?
Right.
Which makes how champions are made. In the playoffs, no one's going to be bad there.
Because champions pay the price.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I'm pretty excited about this one. It's a good game. It's going to be a good game. And later on when we pick them, this is a tough game to pick. But, I mean.
It is a tough game to pick.
Because they're kind of the both don't really know what they are yet.
Let's get one more in before we take a break. What you
got? This is kind of a obvious question, but I just want to talk about this guy. Does Justin Fields keep up this hot streak against the Vikings?
Listen, we need to pay attention to him.
Last 2 games, 8 touchdowns and 1 pick. He's only rushed for 82 yards in those 2 games, but they don't really need him because he's only for 8 touchdowns and 1 pick. He's playing the Vikings. They are 23rd in points allowed, 19th in points per game, 25th on third down. So you can move the ball on these Vikings.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not sure if they can score because they don't have Justin Jefferson, the best wideout of this generation, looks like.
Yeah.
So what I want to see if can his thing is being consistent.
Right.
So can he maintain this high quarterback play for 3 games and build on it? So we might be seeing the start of a new player for Justin Fields here, where he's carving up teams not with his legs but with his arm, which is what everyone at the beginning of the season all you heard was you can't dissect defenses. He's da-da-da-da. He's doing something right.
Yeah, Justin Fields to me already is winning this season because, yes, their record doesn't reflect it, but his last 2 games, he did nothing like that last year.
No.
He didn't have those games last year, whether he faced good teams or bad teams. He didn't throw the ball that way.
Throwing-wise, exactly.
Yeah. He's doing it now.
Yeah. And
so just the fact that he shows us, hey, listen, maybe against a team that's not so good, I can light it up. I'll take that. If I'm a Bears fan, I'll absolutely take that. Because you got to remember, the ultimate win here for a Bears fan is that Justin Fields is good. You should be rooting for this guy.
Yeah.
Because Justin Fields is the man. You're sitting there at the end of the season with Justin Fields, DJ Moore, possibly the number 1 and number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, if you find your quarterback and you have 1 and 2, like we could do whatever we want. We can do even so much where we could trade a number 2 pick for a
this
player.
Draft, you could trade both picks.
It's look what the Bears did last season.
Yes.
So
you can literally. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's literally just hitting my mind right now. You can literally trade the number 1 overall pick for the guy who wants Caleb Williams, and then trade the number 2 overall pick for the guy who wants Drake May, and just get a crap load of picks.
And also too, you want to, if you're doing that argument, you want to be able to, as a fan, to see, okay, why do they believe in this guy? And to see if he has about 8 games, like maybe Powell's is on for 8 games, like wow, he had for 16 touchdowns, only 2 picks, and whatever. That's what you build on as a fan base. You're like, I can get behind this guy. He's performed well. He's done it. Look, this is Justin Fields' chance to really
Please don't let us down.
to win over this fan base, win over the NFL skeptics. I'm sure Steve Smith hates them.
Yeah, Steve Smith probably has some crazy stuff to say about him.
This is a chance. If he keeps it up, this is what he's been missing is that consistent play at an elite level.
I want this for my boy Danny.
Throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I want this for Bears fans. I mean, I bitch and moan about Broncos fans. Bears fans have had a good quarterback ever.
If he has another good game, we're gonna have Danny back on next week.
Yeah.
We need to have him.
We need to kick him while he was down because
we let him go.
No, because that I wouldn't want to talk. I hate
Nope.
So I got with the Broncos. The Bears, whatever. If they, I want him on next week if they win.
Absolutely.
What's the vibe of what do they call themselves? Bear Down or what's their
I don't know.
Bears Nation or
Sure.
But that's on Sunday. I want to see another good game. And my question is, can he keep it up? Hopefully he can, because this show is we've been pro Fields
Absolutely.
all offseason and this season. So
Yeah, and I just lost Justin Jefferson on my fantasy team, so I desperately need DJ Moore to kind of step into that role.
another reason.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and then we have one more each, and then we'll get into our game picks in almost a minute. Be right back. Okay, we are back with Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. We each have one question remaining. Let's get into it. Angel, what's your final and third question?
Are the Buccaneers legit? Because this week they're playing a team that's legit. They're playing the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Buccaneers obviously coming off their bye. They are 3-1, facing the 4-1 Lions in what could be the game of the week, one of the top games of the week. Just a little background on the Bucs here. The Baker Mayfield Bucs. Baker Mayfield is having a pretty good season, quietly.
Yes, he is.
7 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yep.
And is 6th on third down conversion. So his turnovers are down, and he's staying on the field on third down, which is what you want in an offense where you don't really know what you got. Defensively, this is why they're 3-1. They're 8th in points allowed, 11th in yards allowed, and 4th in touchdowns per game allowed. So they're playing turnover-free football on offense and good solid defense. But so are the Lions, and the Lions are a legit team.
Yeah.
So this is a true test if this 3-1 record is actually 3-1, or if they're kind of like you kind of not lucked, but like fell your way into 3-1, depending on who you played.
Yeah, you've been on the Bucs since day one. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
They've made your top 10 list, I think, once. I think they're off it now.
Yeah.
Still on it? Yeah. But they made your top 10 list.
Yeah.
You believe in them. You believe in Baker. You believe in this team. I haven't. If they beat the Lions, you got my attention.
True test, because the Lions, they come to play every time. They don't care who they're playing.
Niners, Eagles, Lions. That's
Yeah.
how I see it in the NFC. And if they beat the Lions, there's 2 division-leading teams. I think it's 4-1 versus 3-1. Yeah. And it's. I mean, if you hang with them. Now, I saw them play the Eagles, and I wasn't very impressed. But who knows? That was earlier in the season, and
This is off a bye week.
yeah,
They have 2
off
weeks
a bye
to
week.
prepare for this.
If you handle the Lions, I think Amon-Ra will be back. Jameson Williams a second week off that suspension. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Sunday. I'll be watching this game closely because not only do I want to see if they win, I want to see how they are if they do win, how they win.
listen, if Geno did it, Baker can certainly do it.
Baker's all the talent that Geno Smith had. He's the number 1 overall. By the way, this is a battle of number 1 overall picks.
Yep.
Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, not exactly.
I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, this is not where they want to end up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's not exactly like Burrow versus
Lions Bucks. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, my last one here. Friday's question, Sunday's answers. Are we totally overlooking the Seahawks? This is why I asked that. I was looking at these games, and I was thinking of different storylines we wanted to talk about here on this segment in particular. And I saw this Seahawks-Bengals game, and I thought, that might be a little tough game to call. And immediately I thought, why am I saying that? The Bengals have been crap this year. They eked out a win against the Cardinals last week. And the Seahawks are 3-1.
Yeah.
They've been very good. They beat the Lions, who we love.
Yep.
They lost to the Rams, a divisional game when we didn't know the Rams would be that good. But ever since then, they beat the Panthers, they beat the Giants, which everyone seems to be doing. But I think Sunday we're gonna see if this is a close game. then maybe we're not sleeping on the Seahawks. Maybe they are more of a maybe we've overestimated the Seahawks a little bit, and we've underestimated the Bengals a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bengals are a little closer than we think. But if they blow out the Bengals, to me, that would show me that, okay, no, they are a class above where the Bengals are right now.
Yeah.
And maybe we're overlooking them. I think there's a couple of factors going into that. I think the 49ers being their division is overshadowing them because everyone's talking about the Niners, including us. I think Geno is the least sexy good quarterback in the NFL, even less than Jared Goff, which is insane. And I just think, I mean, look, no one pays attention a lot of times to the Seahawks. No one plays up there.
I'm in on this Seahawks team this year. They're my pick to go to the NFC title game against the Eagles because one, they play their division well, and
they really do.
And two, their head coach is a veteran who's been there, done that, and I love this team build in general. They have their corners, they have their wideouts, they have the running backs. Their line is getting better. Only get better after bye week.
They needed a bye week so badly too.
They're beat up. They're beat up, and they needed a little time to rest.
Yeah. I think they're going to get most of their guys back. They're going to get their linemen back. The last time we saw Witherspoon, he was terrorizing the Giants.
And we didn't see Jamal Adams the whole game.
Jamal Adams should be
back.
So
in these kind of games where you're playing teams that can, that want to be led by their offense, you want playmakers on defense, to which Jamal Adams in his prime, that's what he was. He was a playmaker.
Yeah.
Not really a ball hawk, but as a playmaker. Kind of just disrupted the game in his own kind of way. I would love to see. I mean, I hope the Bengals. They weren't playing the Bengals. I love the Bengals too. Yeah. But I would love to see the Seahawks.
I want a Seahawks blowout. I want a Seahawks
if that's
dominate.
Seahawks, that's gonna be wild.
I love that
because
Witherspoon and Ja'Marr Chase are already talking smack.
The whole NFL is not ready for the conversation of are the Seahawks better or as good as the Eagles, the Niners.
Well, the fun thing about that is that the Niners will most likely win this week because Sean Watson's just tapping out again.
Yeah.
So they'll be 6-0.
Shoulder hurts.
Shoulder's not feeling great.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, if they win this game, will go into that game 4-1. So you'll have 6-0 versus 4-1. Two teams that hate each other.
Yep.
Have
already trash talking. Not even playing each other yet.
Yeah, have battled for the last 10 years. They're so obviously looking forward to these games. It's kind of a trap situation too because they're both looking for next week.
Yeah.
That's a huge game. I want them to win for that reason. I want that game next week, but we might be sleeping on this team.
So this week we'll find out about two teams. We'll find out about the Bucks.
Yeah.
And we'll find out about the Seahawks. Both playing good teams, and both have a good record. Both coming off a bye. Very similar situations here. High picks who have transformed their career.
Yes.
So very fun weekend coming up.
Okay, that is it for Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. We're going to get to now game picks in almost a minute, where we pick games in almost a minute. We always shoot for a minute, and we're going to shoot for a minute again. We haven't come close so far.
You got to put the clock up. I love the clock sound.
Oh.
But that's producer
Yeah, I don't
Joey.
think I have it.
It's not host Joey.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
Give me
with
a break.
Let's go with the flow.
Sure, we'll whip it up real quick.
Yeah, let me just go. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Don't. I know what you're about to say. I'm going to try, but let me be me. Okay. In 3, 2, clock is started. Ravens at Titans. Who you got?
I have Baltimore in the hardest hitting game of the week.
I also have Baltimore as well. I'll move on from there. Commanders at Falcons. Commanders coming at 2-3. Falcons at 3-2. This is in Atlanta. Who you got?
Atlanta in the most unexciting game of the week.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to literally run the ball down their throats and win. I got Atlanta as well. The 1-4 Vikings visiting the 1-4 Bears in Chicago. Who you got?
Chicago field stays hot.
Yeah, I think Chicago wins too, but excited to see Addison. Seahawks at the Bengals. 2-3 versus 3-1. Who you got?
I have Seattle in a off a bye week near close to full health. I'll take Seattle on this.
Seattle's going to terrorize the Bengals. I think there's a blowout. 49ers at the Deshaun Watson-less Cleveland Browns. 2-2 versus 5-0. Who you got?
No Watson, no chance.
Yeah, Purdy, I think, takes his place here in the circle of life.
Yep.
And beats the Browns. Saints at 3-2 visiting the 2-3 upstart Texans. Who you got?
Houston in a bounce back game for not only Stroud, he played well again but for the whole team.
Yeah, I got Texans here too. Colts at Jaguars 3-2. Both sides, a divisional game. Who you got?
Revenge game for Minshew. I'm going with Minshew and the boys. I'm going Colts.
I think Jags keep their hot streak up, and they win another game, go to 4-2. The 0-5 Panthers with a simplified offense go to the Dolphins at 4-1. Who you got?
Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins by about 37.
Yes.
Patriots 1-4, possibly the last game starting for Mac Jones. Visiting the Raiders, also a dumpster fire at 2-3. Who you got?
I'll take the less dumpster fire, Alex, for 200. I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah, I think the Raiders going to win in Las Vegas. I think it's going to get worse in Foxborough. Lions at 4-1, Bucks at 3-1. One of the most exciting games. What you got?
Taking Tampa. I'm following my heart.
Oh, no, I got the Lions. I think they continue to roll, going 5-1, but a tough fight here from the Bucks. 1-4 Cardinals going to LA to face the 2-3 Rams. Who you got?
Rams. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Too much for them to handle.
Yeah, Rams easily. 5-0 Eagles to the Jets there in the Meadowlands. 2-3. What do you got?
Fly, Eagles, fly. You can't play the Broncos every weekend. Zach Wilson and the Jets. I'm going Philly.
Eagles going to run it about 40 times, and they're going to win. I got the Eagles as well. Giants at 1-4 going to the Bills, staying in New York. The Battle of New York, if you will. Who you got?
Bills, obviously.
Yeah, I got the Bills as well. And then Monday night, the cap here, 3-2 Cowboys going to L.A. to play the 2-2 Chargers. Who you got? Chargers
in a shootout, and Herbert shines with a game-winning drive.
I have the Cowboys. 2 minutes, 41 seconds.
Jeez, that felt good.
It did feel good. Did I talk too much?
I don't know how we're going to do a minute, but we don't claim to a minute. Say close to a minute. That's close.
Yeah, that's close to a minute.
A minute.
I'd like to see improvement. I think we're 4 seconds longer than we went last time.
Okay.
Which isn't great.
There's always a goal. It's like a weight loss goal. Sometimes you reach it, sometimes you don't.
How are we going to shave a minute and 41 seconds off?
I don't know. we got to take some crack cocaine before something else. Get a heart.
Is a minute doable?
Well,
are we over?
We don't ever claim to be in a minute.
Are we overcooking our grits, Coach?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all the show for today.
Before we end the show.
Oh, okay. It was not going to end the show, but what's up?
Before we move on the show.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to two special ladies that we met in the heart of Calabasas today.
You've really this made a real impact on you.
Because, we went to Calabasas to pick up something for your wife.
Yes.
We were together.
Yes.
And as soon as we got off the car, it was the bougie part of Calabasas, and we both said near the same time, God, I don't like Calabasas.
Yeah.
And so we're walking into the coffee store or whatever, and we walk back out. You're wearing an Eagles hoodie, as you always do.
Yes.
And what happens?
Yeah, a couple ladies pull up, I think in a white SUV, and they just start screaming at me while they're in the car still.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to understand what they were saying because I was kind of in shock. I'm in Calabasas, and two older white ladies are screaming at me.
And we're the only
not
people,
a good situation.
People of color within 10 miles.
Not a great situation. And then I quickly realized they were basically acknowledging my hoodie that said Philadelphia Eagles on the front, and they were from Jersey as well, and they were saying, "Are you a Philly guy?" I instinctually said yes. I'm not a Philly guy. I'm from LA. But then I corrected myself. I said, no, I actually just lived there for a little bit, and we kind of shared pleasantries, and they're super excited. There was just some
gave you a
South
hug.
Jersey girls living in Calabasas. That is an interesting marriage.
Yeah, I don't know how. They must hate it.
But she said that she's been here for 20 years, and she still had the South feeling.
I lived in that part of the country before. Those women are completely different from the women we have here in LA.
Oh, yeah.
And you could tell. I love where I'm from. I love everything about where I'm from.
Yeah.
But except for that part of LA.
Yeah.
Because you get the snooty people who like whatever.
I just don't like that's how everyone thinks LA is.
Yeah, and they also feed into this stereotype that this little city is how the whole city of LA is.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But anyway, I'll give a shout out to those ladies.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Nice to meet, and they were Eagle fans.
Eagle fans.
It was just nice. It was nice.
We gave an F the Cowboys as we left.
You did.
I did.
Because there were children around. I didn't want to cuss for other little kids.
Yes, I did because my kids were there. So I just
got you. Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that was a good time.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to those ladies, and go Eagles. Before we wrap up here, we like to leave the people with a little bit something to do this weekend. If you watched anything good, basically, what I'm asking.
This weekend is the big fight.
Who's fighting?
Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul.
Oh, is that this weekend?
It feels like it's been forever since we heard.
Is that a real fight?
I mean, it's an exhibition, not commissioned by the. Yeah, it's not sanctioned by the Nevada Gaming Commission.
Yeah.
So it's just an exhibition. So we don't know if it's fixed or whatever. But I just want to get it over with. I've heard so much. I just want to just fight already.
I can't believe that hasn't happened yet. I feel like I've been hearing about that for
a long time.
a long time.
Yeah, so that's this week.
Not a chance I'm watching.
I'm not watching. I'm just saying, like, I'm not watching.
Not a chance I'm watching.
I'm just glad it's gonna be over.
drink
so
Prime.
I hear about. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to give him any kind of. I don't. I like his brother. I just don't like him. But whatever.
I like his brother because I feel like he's taking the craft seriously.
Yeah, he's like, and he even said in his last. I saw an interview. He's like, I want to fight a real boxer.
Yeah.
What you do? You get your lumps, low level fights, and you start building up.
And I've heard some guys like Joe Rogan talks about Jake Paul, and he says, "Listen, he can punch.
Yeah.
Like he has real power.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
So no, I'm not watching either. But still, it's
Are you on any shows right now? Or are you just doing the rewatch game?
I'm on the rewatch game. I haven't.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in the '90s sitcom era. I'm in my King of Queens stage right now.
Really?
With Kevin James, man. I can't get enough of that guy.
My wife's been watching. I don't know if you've seen this. Golden. I think it's Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
You heard of that?
With the older, yeah.
It's kind of cute to watch, I guess. I watched it a little bit because she had it on. It's basically just a Bachelor with everyone over 70, and it's really funny because like the things they talk about are just all like they're picking for example, they're picking their rooms, all the ladies, and they're talking about how we need to be close to the bathroom so they don't have an accident. They need to be away from stairs because they don't want to fall and hurt themselves. Just like some really funny. I think it's kind of a refreshing look at The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it, but if you're into that, that's out there. Something I'm gonna start watching this weekend though. Very excited about it. I'm gonna start watching. I've never seen this show before. Mad Men.
Wow.
I heard a lot of good things about it.
One of the greatest shows of all time. Apparently, I had never seen it either.
I was just about to say we were just doing some research on rankings of shows all time just to see where some of our favorites land, and Mad Men kept landing in that top tier. So
yeah,
I'm gonna give that a watch.
Also, some good college football on this weekend.
We got
my UCLA Bruins, who upset Oregon State last week. No, sorry. They play Oregon State this week. They're playing Oregon State, but obviously you don't care about that. SC is playing Notre Dame. Basically, go watch Caleb Williams play some football and see Bronco fans what you have looking forward to. So
someone tweeted, some scout or something, that at this point Caleb Williams is a better prospect than Mahomes, which I guess he wasn't a very highly touted prospect.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, go watch Caleb Williams.
And
He's
then
special.
Oregon, Washington, those two quarterbacks. I'm looking down their names. They're both gonna be first round
Bo
picks.
Nix on the Ducks.
Yeah.
I can't remember the wide. You'll see him in the draft.
But
though,
the
Washington
lefty quarterback, yeah. So
they'll both be drafted.
if
in
you're
the
a
first
fan
three
of
rounds.
just good football quarterback play, there's some good games out there.
Absolutely. Who's Colorado playing? Do you know?
And, I think they're not playing this week.
Okay.
They must have a bye.
A lot of buzz about them in the everywhere.
Yeah, I mean they're.
Atlanta scout. You see that saying
Yeah.
that he's gonna get them both to the ATL.
To be fair, we've said the first on this show before he did.
To be really fair, you said that.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna. The whole show claims.
Yep.
it,
No, I get it.
Okay.
Also, I saw his valuation as far as what's it called? The what they could pay players now for their likeness server.
He's
$4.8 million.
Yeah. So if
$2 million more
if he
than the
doesn't
next guy.
If he doesn't like your team, he will stay in the.
It's gonna start to be a thing because what if he says, "Listen, I can either go to the Cardinals or the Broncos, excuse me,
Yeah.
or I could stay here one more time, play with my dad, and make $4.8 million."
And I don't know if it's true. Making the story up in my head. Say Deion Sanders doesn't want him to go to Sean Payton. Then he says, "Son, stay one more year, win a Heisman.
Yep.
You'll be number one. Same next year.
Yep.
And you have to go. And you don't have to go to Sean Payton or Coach X who you don't like. So
Right.
it's gonna be a thing because you get
Very-
paid big money here. So
Very interesting. That's our show for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We have had a good time. Show number 39, creeping up on show number 50.
you see this.
Take this in for a second. It's the last time you see it. Next week in the studio, baby.
Yes.
We'll have a name. We'll have all new, well, not all new stuff, but a lot of new stuff.
Yep.
We will see you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.